Hello, my loves. Hello. Just give it a second. See what kind of, there we go. Let me just share this into my group. So when you're hopping on, say hello. And if you're catching the replay, say replay. I know I'm going later than I normally do. I am on the West Coast. Here we go. And let me know if you guys, if the signal, if it looks okay, because I don't have the very best Wi-Fi. Oop, I don't have the very best Wi-Fi where I am. So I think we'll be okay. I think the Wi-Fi gods will be our friend today. Hello, hello. Yay. Oh, we have a lot to talk about today. So for those of you who are joining on TikTok, you can watch these replays on YouTube. My link's in the bio. We're going to start off. So this is the energy update for August 9th through August 15th, 2021. And for those who are new to me, I am Johanna Burkhardt. I am a multidimensional channel, teacher, and healer. And I'm here to help you go from where you are to where you want to be, from surviving to thriving, so you can create the reality that you are desiring and becoming the alchemist of your own life. Like, this is super important that we learn to do that. Because where we're going, it's going to be a requirement, right? We are learning how to lead ourselves and how to be responsible for ourselves and not rely on anyone else or anything. So we're going to start this energy update today by just talking a little bit more about the Lion's Gate, because something I noticed, observing all the different Lion's Gate posts, was there's a lot of misconceptions about Lion's Gate, and so I didn't realize how big of a misconception there was, and until this year, and I was really blown away. And so I just want to really touch on that for a minute, because I think it's important that we understand the energy, because we're in the information age, we're in the technical, age where information is, you can just Google just about anything. We are all receiving information from the same source, but we are bringing it through our filters. When we channel, and I'm going to be really discussing this in the energy matrix, but when we channel, we really bring that information through a filter, and that filter is our beliefs and our wounds and our generational programming. And so, and depending upon where you are on your journey, you're going to receive information that's going to meet you where you are. And this is why there are so many different um, versions of what Lionsgate is and what Lionsgate means. And so I really wanted to clear that up. So a lot of people think Lionsgate is about manifesting, right? Eights are a really big number for manifesting abundance and prosperity, right? It's the infinity symbol. And while there's truth to that, the thing that we need to understand is that we are always manifesting. There is never a time when we are not manifesting. And you are always manifesting from the undercurrent, which is your subconscious state of being. That is your frequency. I did a channeling for my membership group, from a channeling where I channeled Nikola Tesla. And he really gave me the true meaning of the 369 in the way of manifesting. And the 3 represents the state of being, your base frequency. And that's not it's not when you're going through a manifesting ritual and you're climbing the stairs and you're camping out on the 10th or 12th floor, and then you come back down and you start living your life back on the 4th or 5th floor, and you're wondering where your stuff is, right? It's up on the 10th and 12th floor. You went really high. The whole point is that you learn that you manifest your state of being, that constant undercurrent. So if you're worried or in fear more than you are in the flow and in love, you're going to manifest more of the fear and more of the worry and more of that energy, right? So you're always attracting your state of being. So another thing that we want to talk about when it comes to the Lion's Gate is the true Sirius alignment is actually on July 5th, you guys. July is one of the biggest months for the star seeds, especially, but for everybody, because it's the galactic new year. So we have the Sirius alignments. All the big activations actually happen in July. So July 5th is when the true Sirius sun activation is. What happens on August 8th, and by the way, it only happens in the northern hemisphere. So this is not something that happens in the southern hemisphere. And if you are, yes, energy is energy. And so you could tap into the northern hemisphere. But what happens on 8/8 is it aligns with Giza and the Orion belt. So what happens is it grounds it into our body. And that's why the true meaning of Lionsgate is about karmic clearing. Because again, if you are manifesting on your state of being, then the fastest way to manifest is to clear your density, is to do your shadow work, is to face your wounds, to face your fears, to face the things that you don't want to feel. And by facing it and accepting it into your heart space, you alchemize it and you make more room to receive, right? In order to receive, I do this all the time, right? Most of us are holding on for dear life. We're holding on so tight to what we want. I want this so bad, or I got to hold on to this because this is who I'm attached to being. This is my identity. And we think we have to let go, but when we let go, all we're doing is opening our hand. When we let go, nothing happens. All we're doing is opening our hand and we're saying this can stay or this can go. It can get bigger or it can get smaller. But we have to let go, meaning let go of control. We have to let go so that we can receive what we desire. So we can receive the new frequencies. Because you can't receive until you accept first. So truly, you always have to accept however you feel. Have to accept whatever is. Okay, and that's why the guides are huge on what's happening in the world stage right now is you have to accept what is. Stop fighting with it. The more you fight with it, the more you attract a fight. The more you accept, the more acceptance we attract. So there's no point in fighting with what is or fighting against anything. It's about first accepting, not agreeing, accepting. When we accept, now we can receive. Now we can open up to receive what's next. But until you accept, you guys, it's not about letting go. We have to accept. You have to accept before we can receive what's next and what we're going to be feeling and moving into as a collective. So that's what I really wanted to start with. The true meaning of Lionsgate is a karmic clearing. It's making the space, it's clearing the generational programming, it's clearing the density. And that's why so many of us are feeling this in our physical vessels, in our bodies. It's because we are literally clearing. And this is the most potent one that we've ever had to date, because we're literally just making space in our bodies. So if you've been feeling exhausted, if you've been thirsty or having strange cravings, if you have been having pains in your body, this is all part of it. On top of that, we hit another new base frequency collectively, meaning, again, when we talk about the 369, the 3 is the base frequency, right? Well, collectively, the earth her frequency has gone up and it's not going back down. This is not temporary. So we went through that huge Schumann blackout, which was 39 hours. And during that time, we were collapsing timelines. Okay. People were making decisions. They were deciding as a collective, this is what we want. And when that happens, when we have these big collective decisions that are all subconscious, by the way, your higher selves are usually the ones making those, not your conscious mind. But when those happen, there's a ton of potential timelines that were there, right? Of different ways things could play out. But when we collectively decide on something, when a majority happens, then we start collapsing collective timelines. And that's when you'll see the Schumann go dark for quite a long time. Okay. So we did that. And then we had the Lionsgate, which was the grounding of that energy. So we're actually still in that portal until the 12th. But something interesting started today. So once we moved through that, we're having a karmic activation. And that's exactly what the Lionsgate does. So it brings that energy, grounds it down into your body. That's why it aligns with the pyramid. Okay. It's like an electricity pole, right? You know how they pull the pole up and the electricity or the lightning hits it and it brings it down into a grounding wire. It works the same. Our vessels, we're literally walking antennas. So we're grounding that serious activation from the Pleiades down into our physical vessels, and it's giving us a karmic activation. This karmic activation is actually further activating your north node. Okay. And your north node is about destiny. It is about where you're destined to go. Okay. Your south node is about where you've been. It's about your generational programming. It's about your karmic stuff. So your north node has been activated on this 8-8. And what that's doing is it's activating your destiny. And while we have this every year, this one is way bigger. This is activating some really big energy for us. And with that is going to be some harsh truths revealed. Harsh truths. So don't be surprised if people are more blunt with you. They're more direct, more reactive. You're going to need to set better boundaries this week. You're going to need to have some serious self respect. You're going to really need to tap into your inner king and queen, right? Really tune into that. I know who I am, right? I've been talking about this since 2020. You need to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are by now, you better figure it out because it's about owning your power. Okay. Remember last week we talked about if you don't own your power, it's going to own you. So we're going to continue that into the rest of August where we are literally owning our power. When you look at somebody like royalty or just someone like I'm a manifester in human design. And so when I walk into a room, whether I'm trying to or not, everybody notices me. I have really big energy. Okay. When you think of a king and queen, that's how it is. They have that manifestor energy. They have that big energy, but they're not trying to get your attention. They're just owning their power and walking in the room. So if you've ever been somewhere and someone walks in and you just look at them and you're like immediately insecure, like, wow, like why is everybody's head turns and they just walk in, they're not trying to be flashy. They're just literally owning who they are. You need to tap into that this week. Know who you are. Have immense self-care, immense self-respect, and gentle authority. If you notice, a king or a queen never yells. They don't yell, right? And this is why I quit yelling at my kids and I started whispering. Because if they have to lean into me and I'm quiet and I'm not flipping out, right? Then they know that shit's real. They're like, whoa, what's happening here? So that was something I learned years ago was there's no point of raising your voice. That's a very reactive, ego-based thing. When you're gentle and when you're quiet and when you're poised and when you are owning your power, there's no need for any of that. There's no need for it. It's just a different energy. So with this harsh truth that's going to be revealed this week, you guys, this truth is really showing you what you need to see about yourself. So this is a time where you're going to want to be teachable. You're going to want to be humble. If you don't know something, don't pretend that you do. Be very observant and listen to what is happening around you. Listen to the people, places, and things because there's going to be a truth revealed. And this truth revealed may shake any denial that you have been in. Okay. You can't, when someone's in denial, so sometimes I get clients and they'll be in denial about something. And as soon as I realize they're in denial, I have to stop because the more you try to convince somebody and try to make someone see the truth when they're in denial, the further into denial you actually push them. And this is why I say stop trying to wake up the sleeping. Stop trying to wake people up. You are literally wasting your energy. When somebody's in denial, they have to see that they're in denial. Until that denial is ripped away by their own reveal, by them seeing with their own eyes, by them hearing with their own ears, with their mind being ripped open, they will never break denial. So when I tell you there's no point of trying to wake the sleeping, I'm telling you at this point in the journey, it's a waste of your energy. Stop doing it. I mean, you can keep doing it. You're just wasting your energy. This is a time though, when this truth, this blunt truth that's going to be revealed is going to be something that is going to dramatically push you into transformation, into change. It's going to push you into the direction that you need to go. It's going to be a pressurizing, right? It's going to be like, oh shit, this just happened. Now I have to like, I have to not react. I have to respond. So when you react, it's coming from a place of fear. And this is why I'm a huge proponent on saying practice the pause. When you're triggered, practice the pause. Practice the pause regardless. And when you practice the pause, what you're doing is you're giving yourself time to respond. Because if you're someone's telling you something and you're in your head coming up with a comeback, if you're in your head analyzing and thinking, then you're not listening. If you are listening to every word and you're observing their body and you're observing your body, then you're truly listening. But if you find yourself in your head coming up with a comeback, arguing with yourself like, oh, that's not true, these people don't know what they're talking about, this guy's an idiot, whatever, you're not listening. So it's a good sign. And when that happens, when you catch yourself, just start repeating in your brain, in your mind, what that person is saying. That's a really good way to bring you present, is to just repeat what they're saying. So if someone's like, I went to the store today, in your head, you're going to say, I went to the store today. You're really just being in the moment of their energy and being present with them. When you're present, you're not going to be triggered. You're just not. Now, it doesn't mean that you still won't have a truth revealed that might shake you a little bit, but it gives you that moment to take a breath and to say, hey, you know what? Let me get back to you on that and step away and process. Or letting them know that, I'm going to need a little bit of time to process what you just said. Walking away, taking your time, creating those boundaries, creating that self respect, and giving your time, because this energy, you guys, is the table flipping energy. It's expect the unexpected. Big change is coming. And people can go online and say, oh, I know we're going to go under this again, or this is going to happen again. And you know what? The more you focus on that and the more you share that, the more we actually call it in. So it's really important that we start to wrap our brains around the fact and really help our egos to understand that what we share on social media, we're feeding. What we're talking about to other people, we're feeding it. So if we want more love and more hope and more kindness, more oneness and more unity, then we need to share that. We need to be that. Okay. Because you always are manifesting your state of being. If you want to see division, if you want to see more of the same old BS that we had previous, then by all means, share it and you will help create that. Because what you focus on expands. What you focus on, you call in. So I know that a lot of us want to share truth and we want to share what we believe is true and what our perception is. But the guides are very clear. Freedom is freedom. Freedom means that we each get to have our own opinion. Freedom means we all get to believe what we want to believe, and that is what's true for us. So we need to honor everyone's freedom. And it doesn't mean that you still can't share truth or what you perceive to be truth. But if you're going to do that, a really good technique would be to also share a possible solution, right? So what if if you're showing somebody like this is not what you think it is, here's another way of doing it. That's not coming from a fear place, right? So you really want to check in with yourself and ask yourself, why do you feel the need to share this information? What is it going to do for you? Because most of the time, we judge somebody because we're in fear. Because if there was no fear, we would not judge them. And when we judge them, what we're saying is I'm judging you because if you do that or say that or be that or feel that, it's going to have a consequence for me. I'm going to have to clean it up. I'm going to have to feel it. It's going to cause this. It's going to do that. So when you're judging, I want you to recognize that there's something that you're in fear of and ask yourself, I'm in judgment of this. So what would the consequence of this be in to you? What would it be to you? Right. And it might be something really minute, but it's enough for you to judge it. Okay. There's no judgment in oneness. There just isn't. So those are some really things that the guides really wanted to talk about. The other thing about the energy this week and a little bit going into the week, into next week, is you're really going to have a little bit more motivation. You're really going to feel that pressurizing or that drive. But be careful with that energy too, because sometimes it can make us feel like we want to bulldoze, like we want to just steamroll through something. Like, I don't want to feel the in between, right? I'm okay here and I'm okay when I get there, but that in between is very uncertain. And that uncertainty is fear. And that uncertainty creates anxiety. But anxiety or fear, it is the dualistic side of excitement. They're literally the same energy. They're literally the same energy. So you can, be the child going down the slide with its hands in the air, going, screaming with excitement, going, this is a hell of a ride. This is a thrill. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know how fast I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to hit anybody at the bottom. Or you can be the child death gripping the side of the slide, screaming in bloody murder because it's so uncertain of where it's going to go and how fast is it going to be. You get to choose. Do you want to be in fear and uncertainty, or do you want to see that uncertainty as excitement and, oh my God, we don't know what's going to happen? So you can tune into that for yourself and really notice, what am I sharing and where am I sharing it from? And my motivation, am I trying to bulldoze through this so I don't feel it? Am I trying to get from where I am to where I want to be at lightning speed so that I don't have to experience the journey? And if you do that, it might seem like you're moving faster, but you're just going to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. The slower you go, okay, the more you're going to digest. The slower you go, the more you're going to digest, which means the more you're going to get out of the journey and the more you're going to integrate. The faster you go, the more indigestion you get. Okay, more pain, more suffering, right? And then you're like reliving the same meal over and over again. So it works in energy, right? I call this the emotional digestion cycle. It's going to be in my upcoming book. But when we understand that going slow, slowing down, practicing the pause, being present actually allows us to get more out of life. It allows us to get more things done. It allows us to integrate more so we repeat less. I don't know about you, but I get sick of repeating crap, especially the lessons that don't feel good. So those are some really those are the main themes of this week, is really about that karmic activation of our destiny, and really it's going to put to test what you've learned thus far on how to process when you're triggered. How present can you be, and how do you respond? And this is why it is so important that in the upcoming Energy Matrix Mastermind that I'm offering, that I bring in that piece where I'm actually going to teach my modality, the purification process, and teach you really how to become your own alchemist like that, because it's really a very simple procedure. And I was just telling my girlfriend that, that's a big thing, right? We have been conditioned to believe that we have to work hard, that we have to play hard, that life is hard. Everything has to be hard. So when we come and, like, when I channeled, and was given the purification process modality, and the frequencies and all the things that go with it, I was like, this is too easy. I was super skeptical about it because I was programmed that everything had to be hard. You got to work hard for your money, right? You have to do all these things. Nothing comes easy. Like, this is the programming that a lot of us have been brought up with. And so when things are easy and simple, we tend to question them and think, oh, nothing comes easy. So I want to teach you the easy method because it really is easy and it's allowed to be easy. It's not meant to be hard. Life is not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be, we're meant to have obstacles that push us and force us to grow, but we're not meant to suffer. We're not meant to suffer. We only suffer when we attach, and what we are attaching to is actually that version of us. We're not attaching to the person, place, or thing. We're attaching to what that meant, what that made us. We're attaching to the identity of who that person was, that version of you, because you don't know who the new version of you is yet, because you haven't become that person yet. You're still in transit. You're in that uncertain corridor. And that is why this is a new beginning for a lot of people and the world, right? Our base frequency is going to go up again in the next week or so. We're going to hit another high level base frequency. So the faster we go, right, the higher the base frequency means the more light is coming in. The more light means more information because information is light. Light is information, one and the same. Everything is energy. And it also means we're processing the information more. So the more light, the more bright things are, the more dirt we're going to see, or the more density, or the more darkness, whatever you want to label it as. The brighter it gets, the more we're processing, the faster we go, the more you're going to see. It's not new. I'm going to keep telling you guys this until I'm blue in the face. What we're seeing in the world is not new. It's been there all along. The light is just bright enough for us to see it so that we can see it. We can hear those old stories. We can receive what the knowledge and the wisdom that we need to receive so that we can let go of it and we can create a new space, new safe space inside of us, a new safe world. But in order to do that, we have to see it for what it is. And we have to finally receive and hear the lesson, the wisdom, so that we can hold space for it and we can stop repeating it. This is why we get stuck in these time space continuums of where we're like, oh, the 90s are back. Oh, the 70s are back. Oh, here we go again. We're back to segregation and discrimination and division. We're repeating these cycles. But it's when you finally see it and hear the wisdom that you really needed, you're like, oh, we don't have to do this again. We can come together. We can do this differently. There is another way. We can stop history from repeating itself and move on to the next thing. But in order to do that, we have to truly see it and hear it like we have never seen it and hear it before. That means we have to observe it and not attach to it, not identify with it, not fight with it, not judge it. Heal what it triggers inside of you. If it triggers fear, if you want to fight, you need to work on healing that, because when you heal yourself, you heal the world. It's very common knowledge at this point. So whatever is going to happen on the world stage, or it's going to be activated this week anyway. I don't know if it'll play out this week, but it will be definitely activated this week. We're all going to have our own variation of that activation. Some of us are going to have huge table flipping change, and others it might be subtle. But whatever that blunt truth is coming, it's going to come with a force, and it's going to rip that denial curtain right off of you. And you're going to have to be faced with some truth, either about you or about a relationship or a situation. And it's going to pressurize you to finally make the decision that you knew you probably should have made a long time ago, but you hadn't. It's going to really wake a lot of people up. And remember, we're always awakening, right? There's no end point. We're like, oh, now I'm awake. You're always continuously awakening more and deeper and anchoring the same information till it hits a new level, and then it hits a new level. So it's really important that we understand these fundamentals about how an awakening works. So we realize that we're constantly evolving. If you're not growing, you're dying. So you're constantly evolving. So again, this week, just to wrap it up and bring it full force, full circle around, this is a really good week to have really good boundaries if you're someone who struggles with boundaries, okay? Don't do anything you don't want to do. Don't take on someone else's crap. Practice the pause, which means you're going to really think before you speak. You're really going to think, is this necessary? Is this kind? Is this something I really need to say right now? Because even if you are doing well and you're not being blunt and direct and reactive, someone is going to be that way with you. Okay. And it's a good thing, because whatever they're going to do or say or show you is something that you need to see about yourself, even if it's simply the way that you feel, even if it's a trigger that happens. It doesn't mean it has to be something huge. Someone could say something to you that was super close friend of yours or family member, and they're going to say it, and they never, that something they've been meaning to say for a very long time. A lot of throat chakra work this week. And you're going to feel triggered or upset, but it's going to be showing you something. So ask yourself, what is the lesson I'm here to learn? What is the lesson that I can learn from this? What is this trying to show me? Practice that pause, walk away, take some time to process. Don't react. Really be present and be listening more than you're speaking. Okay? Set those boundaries, have gentle authority. be super into the self, like have massive self-respect for yourself and own your power. Tap into that inner king and queen energy and really own your power. It's super, super important. Okay. Because again, anybody who is, if you haven't been sitting with what's been drug up with this energy over the past couple of weeks with the Lionsgate alignment, it's going to be slapped right in your face. Okay, because this wasn't just about manifesting any of your desires. In order to manifest your desires, you have to be able to sustain the frequency of that in which you desire. Otherwise, it will come in. You'll manifest $500, and then you'll manifest a $500 bill that you didn't have. In order to sustain what it is that you desire, you have to move the density out of your body, and you have to hold or embody that new frequency. This is why I'm always saying you got to be the change. If you want a new car, you need to embody freedom. You want a lot of money, you need to embody the frequency of wealth. And you can do that without having those things, because it's not really the things you want anyway, you guys. You want what the money gives you. You want what the vehicle gives you. You want what the house gives you. You want what the career gives you. Freedom, right? At the end of the day, usually it's freedom, security, safety. So you really got to get down to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you want and why you want it, what it's going to give you, and then you need to embody that frequency, okay? Because if you don't feel like you're enough right now, if you don't feel full of life in wherever you are with whatever you have, then you're going to be in lack. And that is what you will attract. So when we understand manifesting, it's very simple. It's very simple. But this billion-dollar industry has made it very complicated because they're betting that you're not going to do the work and you want the magic pill. But I'm telling you, the fastest way is through. Okay. So this is, Lynn says she needs a break. There's no break, honey. There's no break coming. We're full speed freight train ahead. And so it's literally about practicing every single day a set of tools, one set of tools every single day that helps you stay in the flow, where you can flow through any scenario. And this is why right now I'm doing the energy matrix, because in the energy matrix, I'm going to teach you the one set of tools you can use for just about anything. And I'm going to teach you how to trust yourself. I'm going to teach you how to read your own energy and how to manage your own energy. So there is no more wounded empaths, and there's no more people taking on other people's crap. I'm going to teach you how to channel your higher self. I'm going to teach you how to channel your guides, how to channel the energy for healing. These are the tools that you need for the new earth. These are the tools. And you can learn them from someone else. You don't have to learn them from me. But I'm going to be doing, it's the first time I'm going to be putting everything together in one mastermind. It's long overdue. It's been the most requested thing. But anyway, we're here. Okay. So that if you don't know how to do that, you can come to me. You can find another teacher or healer that you like and learn those tools. But those are the tools you guys are going to need to sustain the new earth and to break free of the self-made prison we have put ourselves in called the matrix system. And so it's really important that this is why on these energy updates, I give you the how-tos. Like, this is what you can do. This is how you navigate it. Because I want you to be prepared and go, oh, I got to practice the pause this week. I got to have good boundaries this week. And then you guys go and practice that. And then when the shit hits the fan, it's not so bad because you had the tools for what was coming at you. And that's what I try to do for myself. We got some spirit in here making some noise. So if you guys resonate with this energy broadcast and, you want to help me spread the word, please hit the share button, tag your friend, whatever. I really appreciate when you guys do that. It really warms my heart because my goal is to reach more people. There's more of us who have this wonderful information, the better our world's going to be, because sharing is caring, right? And this is why I come on live and why I share such valuable information, because it is essential. It's essential information that we all should have, available. And that's why I do it. All right, you guys, this is another big week. It will settle down and we will have moments where it's not so intense. But remember, intense just means abundant. an abundance of something. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It doesn't mean you're going to have a shitty week. What if your unexpected thing is something amazing? Be curious. Stay in wonder and curiosity. I wonder what amazing truth is going to be revealed this week. If you're bracing for impact on these updates and you're like, oh shit, this is where we this is what we're going to get. I'm going to brace for impact. Something bad's going to happen. Then that you're going to actually call more of that in. And when it does happen, it's going to hurt, right? You ever notice drunk drivers? They're not the ones who get hurt in the accident. You want to know why? Because they're flexible, right? They're not braced for impact. So don't take these as bad news. Instead, be like, I wonder what amazing truth is going to be revealed this week. I wonder what destiny path is going to open for me. Stay in the energy of curiosity and wonder and excitement. Remember, excitement, the opposite of excitement is fear or anxiety. So see it as the double-edged sword, right? Be your own Archangel Michael or Merlin and hold that sword of truth and be like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Whatever comes my way, I'm excited to see what it's going to open up for me. I'm excited to see where I'm going, what's happening next. It's going to be beautiful, amazing. And for some of us, it might be a little painful, but it will always be worth it. Always. There's always purpose behind our pain. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.